Finally, we've made it to high ground. Now, let's find this trail to the sanctuary. It can't be far from here. Bloodied feathers.
I wouldn't like to meet the bird they belong to.
Looks like Vinbar must have begun his transformation. He will soon become a guardian of the mountains. More of these giant feathers. We're on the right trail. Over there, more feathers. These giant feathers. We're on the right trail. I need a bit of practice. I need a bit of practice. We found the entrance to the sanctuary. Vinbar must be here. I hope he'll agree to help us enter the heart of the mountain. All that remains is to find a way to get in. This must be the entrance to Vinbar's sanctuary. But it's obstructed. He knows how to protect his home. A stone altar. It resembles the one that protects the passage to Mev's sanctuary. This must be where I need to place the seed. And here is another altar. Are 2 seeds necessary to open the passage? How can we learn which plant seed is required?
You don't just reveal the secret to your hideout, unless it were to the person you loved.
You're right. We need to find this Sarah. The seed that I have is not enough. I need to find Sarah. She might be able to help. Let's return to the village. Sarah doesn't seem to have returned to her village. Someone here might know where to find her.
We might as well try and swim the Great Sea. They won't tell us anything.
We must find Constantine. The High King can wait.
Bit of poison on my blade. And let's go!
This is the camp that Constantine's escort must have established.
It looks more like a battlefield. I hope the Donegad and your cousin survived the fight.
Search the zone. Let's see if we can find any clues as to what's happened here. The tents were lacerated by what looks like claws. And there are traces of blood everywhere. Some of these men must have been attacked in their sleep. By beasts? Most of the weapons are missing. Our soldiers wouldn't have taken a rest without defenses. Our soldiers were attacked by surprise, and there were animals among the assailants. However, our men reacted properly. They were armed and they fled as best they could. There are no bodies, and no sign of Constantine or Katasak's presence here. Perhaps they were in another place, and the soldiers wanted to join them. We need to follow the tracks. This area has been trampled. An entire stampede passed by here. Our soldiers must have fled the zone and taken this path followed by their assailants. This is a sacred place of a native cult. No doubt this is where Katasak and Constantine were going.
It isn't really a place of a cult, but rather a place of anchoring. A place where Donegada perform a ritual to become Sinol Menawi. These places are charged with great energy. Perhaps Katasak wanted to use it to bring relief to your cousin.
Perhaps. There are bodies, and without a doubt there was fighting here. Search the place. Let's see what we are able to find. This blade is a native ritual knife, and this bowl contained a potion. Someone wanted to perform a ritual here. Could Katasak have found a better means to alleviate Constantine's symptoms? The corpses of both men and beasts. These soldiers fought dearly until the end. Neither Constantine nor Katasak are among them. Crater, without a doubt caused by an explosive potion. The soldiers might have been carrying them. They must have been desperate to have taken such drastic measures. Constantine and Katasak must have been visiting this place. Perhaps performing some sort of healing ritual. When the attack took place, the soldiers intervened, and many fell during the fight. But a group was able to escape down this path. We need to continue following their tracks. More tracks. Footprints. They must have fled this way. Strange. These trees look half calcinated, as if they were exposed to immense heat. These weapons are in terrible condition. Whatever did these men come up against? Another burnt tree. This path seems to have been scorched in flames.
A bit of poison on my blade. Hey, let's go!
Let's do it!
can't believe that our soldiers could be carrying so many explosive potions. These poor soldiers were torn to pieces. Animals again, or something else. New footprints. It looks as if a group met up with them and took this path. There was more fighting over here. There are not only the corpses of our own men, but where could these other soldiers have come from? More signs of explosions. But what were they doing with all these explosives on them? There are footprints. Only a handful made it up to here. Path stops on this overhang, and despite signs of a skirmish, I can't see any sign of Constantine or Katasai.
A bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Let's see if we can ward off this fate.
rocks were broken, as if they had taken cannon fire. What could have happened here? I don't recognize these men. Still more unknown soldiers. Could they have been responsible for the attack? This one is carrying a letter. Let's see. These vials look familiar. Katasach used the very same to stock his potions. He must have come here. I'm going to pick them up. I recognize this sack. It's my cousin's. Oh, Constantine, what have you gotten yourself into again? According to this note, this troop came from an outpost of the Bridge Alliance close by. A patrol, no doubt. Could the bridge in some way be linked to this attack? That makes no sense. Very well, let's sum things up. Constantine and Katasach definitely came through here to perform some sort of ritual, but they were attacked. An attack obviously involving wild animals. And then there are these traces of inexplicable flames. Could it be magic?
You cannot suspect my people are behind this attack. You have strayed far from the path. No one...
Unless he himself was behind it. He is a powerful Donegad.
How could you even think something like that? He is a healer.
Perhaps he only did it to gain our trust. With Constantine captive, he now has leverage to apply to the colonists and force them to accept his condition. But in all truth, I have no idea what to think. But regardless of who is guilty, we could return to Wenxavier to learn more. Perhaps Katasach returned there. Or maybe his Voglendai could tell us where to find him. We are also going to have to visit the outpost. Their soldiers were involved in the combat, or at least the end of it. They must have some stories for...
That trail seems a better one to follow. Katasach is a good man, but the soldiers and the Alliance...
That's true. But I do not see how they could have made these animals obey. However, one way or another, let us be on our way without further delay.
colonials. You must have gotten lost to have come this far from nowhere. To whom do I owe the honor?
Desardet.
A legate? Pardon my dismay, but we don't get many here. Captain Idris. I am the ranking officer in charge of this Bridge Alliance outpost. What can I do for you, sir?
I'm looking for Constantin d'Orsay, the island governor of the Congregation of Merchants.
A governor? Here? What?
My cousin was part of an expedition. His men and his camp were attacked, but we found no trace of his body, which has us wounded and holding up somewhere, or even...
Have you cast your suspicions in our direction? We've had neither reinforcements nor supplies for weeks. In my book, we've been totally... I wouldn't risk the few lives remaining to attack a governor's... I'm not crazy. I'm truly sorry for your cousin, Excellency, but we haven't seen him. And we definitely... The region is dangerous. The natives are heartless. You should be looking in their direction.
You do know that we found the bodies of several men from the garrison up there, don't you?
How could you be sure?
One of them was carrying a note, signed by your hand.
And they are dead. I had hoped they'd have survived and would eventually return.
Explain yourself, Captain. What were your men doing on the cliff-top?
They were monitoring the zone. They were to warn us of any troop movements. We have lost too many men to surprise attacks. We decided to take initiative and be ready. Yesterday, we heard screams and saw some strange lights up there.
And you didn't go and see for yourself? You hear screams, certainly those of your own men, and you don't do anything.
So the last of my men give up their lives for nothing. You can think of me as a coward if you like. But me?
Why do I have the feeling that you're holding something back from me? I understand what you're feeling. The pain of seeing your men fall one, the feeling of being abandoned by your leader. But if you know anything, speak.
I don't know what to tell you, Excellency.
I am convinced that you are hiding something from me.
And my answers will not change. Anything else?
I know you haven't told me everything about the attack that... I can see how difficult your present situation has become. I'm certain you haven't been paid either for quite some time. I cannot solve all of your problems. But what would you say if...
A little gold would certainly improve the morale of my men. One of the men I'd posted there returned during the night.
A survivor? Excellent. Did he tell you what happened?
He wasn't able to say a word. He collapsed unconscious 2 steps past the doorway. Our nurse sits with him, but... there is little hope that he will come back to himself. His wounds are extremely serious.
I'm sorry to hear that, Captain. Perhaps we could do something.
Go and see the nurse. Perhaps you can do something to help them. I can't take it anymore. Anything else?
Concerning the young man that survived.
Did you see the nurse?
Not yet.
Really? I thought that your cousin's life hung in the balance. This boy will not survive long if someone doesn't help him. Anything else?
I need to be going.
I would very much like to do the same.
What are you doing there? This is an infirmary!
I know. I've come to see the wounded soldier.
That is very kind of him. But alas...
What are you saying? Is the soldier?
No, he still lives. But I've been asking the captain for weeks to escort me on a mission to replenish my stock. I no longer have a single remedy. And now that we have a wounded patient, I can only wipe water on his brow and hope.
Do you know what type of remedy would allow him to survive?
Yes, at least I think so. It's a known potion that heals...
I see. Give me the recipe.
Thank you. Because of you. Were you able to concoct the potion against burns?
Yes, I was. Might we administer it?
Give it to me. I'll take care of this. We must wait and be patient now.
Will he make it?
I hope so. We'll know...
And if he survives, when could we speak to him?
Come back tomorrow at the same time. We'll know more...
Very well. I'll come back tomorrow.
See you soon. And...
Hello, soldier. How are you doing?
Better. A lot better. Are you...
I simply prepared the potion that she told me how to make. Could you tell me what happened during the attack?
I will try. They're not really memories I'm fond to bring back. We were posted up on the peak to follow rebel movement. It had been a couple of days when we heard sounds of fighting not far from our position. Men were screaming. In our own language. So we went to see what was happening. Soldiers of the Coin Guard and an islander were trying to protect a young man. He seemed dire ill.
Constantine Katasak and his escort. Who were they fighting against?
Dozens of wild animals. They seemed completely enraged and intent on devouring them. And there were flames.
Flames? Where were they coming?
I don't know. My friends... I didn't see everything. All was blood and... But I thought I saw another islander. Big. There was practically no one left on the battlefield. I was wounded. I came to when I heard voices of islanders approaching. I thought to myself, they're coming to finish off the wounded. I got up, I dragged myself here. and you know the rest.
I'm going to have to go and find these rebels.
You shouldn't do that. They killed all of my friends.
That's enough. Rest now.
Yes, it's best I leave now. I've learned enough. I'll have a word with your captain.
Excellency, I was told that you said thank you. You can't imagine what this means.
Please. I did nothing more than follow the
Did you learn what you needed to learn?
Yes. I was able to question your man and he told me what he saw. He and his company heard sounds of the attack, and they went to investigate. My cousin's escort were already nearly annihilated by animals that jumped out from all sides. A strange sorcerer controlled them. It was he that...
One of those rebel savages, no doubt. I knew that they'd be beyond. They must have learned that an important man was in the region and thought he would make the perfect... I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. I know where the camp can be found, and if my cousin is there,
Like you freed the scholars. Thank you again. For sake.
I need to be going.
I would very much like to do the same. Safe journey, Your Excellency.
My dear child, what can I do for you?
What was your role at my uncle's court? Were you all...
No. Taleme was hoping to convert the congregation, and they had sent me to... I tried to teach you so that you were so young.
I'll see you later, Father.
Take care, my child.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
Hello.
Renaigse, there you are again.
To speak to you about my cousin's capture and the massacre. A soldier from the nearby outpost survived and told us that you were present on the battlefield.
You dare come here and accuse us? Let me throw him out this Renaigse, and may they receive this punishment for...
I know that you see us as your enemies, but we are not here to harm. I only seek to find the man I can see, as well as the man who is protecting him. Katisach.
No donea exregao.
If you didn't attack him, you must know what happened to them. I was told that an islander took my cousin away. Perhaps your men were there to aid them.
We do not have your cousin, and we do not... As for Katasach, and the worst, Tire. He died from his... That night, we heard the sounds of a terrible combat. We went to see. The last breath of Katasach had returned to the... And many of the Renaigse were dead. We carried the body of the Donegad.
He gave his life to protect Constantine. This request might surprise you, but we would like to see him.
Why?
Examine him to understand. We were told that an island native was there and that he liked...
No Donea Exregal would attack Katasach. You have been lied to, or they were...
That is the very reason I need to see his body. To understand.
You may see him. But if you desecrate his body, you will pay for this offense with your life.
Katesach. Seeing the state of his body. I hate myself for having suspected him. Forgive me, Denegad. To have doubted your loyalty and even more for what we are about to do. Now then. Let's see what story this corpse has to tell. Afra would know how to get information from this body. I'll need to go and find her. Here is the body of Katasach. Could you examine it and tell us what you make of his wounds?
Of course. This won't be the first time I've examined a corpse. We note a great number of large, blunt force contusions, covering the entire surface of the victim's body. None of the wounds could be attributed to a blade or a spear, nor are there any... Practically every bone has been broken in multiple places. The rib cage was torn open and then collapsed. The open wound reveals multiple perforations of the vital organs. Here, the borders of the wounds have been singed. The flesh is blackened, exposed to a flame, no doubt. And we also note several patches of mineral. They seem oddly out of place in spite of the exotic insular origin of our deceased. I would be hard-pressed to tell you which of the wounds proved to be the fatal blow, but one thing is certain.
He was smashed violently by a giant rock that was without a doubt on fire.
Yes. These wounds are similar to those given by a heated cannon shot, though in a less regular fashion.
The dead soldiers we found had identical wounds. As crazy as this may sound, whoever is responsible for this attack is capable of wielding more.
In any other circumstance, your conclusion would qualify you for an asylum. But
I can't imagine an Adaig behaving like this. It is not their way. That they might attack careless hunters or warriors, true, but to attack Katasach, the power to call volcano fires, could only be that of a guardian. No simple man wields mountain fire.
We still don't really know who is actually behind this attack, nor what they want. Judging by the severity of these wounds, I fear the worst for Constantine.
All your experiments. You've learned so little. You've learned to fear. Your instincts should have been enough.
We had to at least try. Are you not even concerned or angered by what happened?
We've grown accustomed to the loss of lives. Your relentless attack. All the same, there is truth in your words. Guardian and Donegad would never attack one another. There is a ritual that might help us.
The Anatalis Fair.
It is a magical rite that only a person with a powerful bond to both spirits and nature can perform. It allows the Donegad who chants it to relive the last moments.
That would allow us to at least see the face of his assassin.
If what I have heard is true, yes. To my knowledge, only one Donegad...
Let's ask her for her help, then. She might be able to tell us what...
You are quick to ask another to put her mind in danger for your own Imagine the pain of the wounds of another. Shaking your body as the cold of death crushes your beating heart. This is what you must ask of the Tiernahach. It is the price she must pay for performing the... When her companion was lost in battle, fighting against your own, she wanted to live that death beside her. Since that day, our Tiernahach Kedachtas has never breathed air with the same breath.
That would explain her distrust of the...
You must make her see your purpose. It may be the only...
Karans, do you need something?
I must leave you. See you later.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
I must leave you. Hello, Mev.
Renoixe, why have you come?
I've come to ask you for help.
My help? You still seek the remedy?
My cousin has been taken.
Truly?
By performing the Anatalis Fair.
Katazach is dead. He was a good man. Perhaps
He went with my cousin to a sacred site when they were... My cousin has disappeared. Taken, according to a witness. And we examined him, and it seemed as if he had been struck.
Fire of the earth. Only the Nadai, but none of our own would have attacked.
This is why we need your help. We want to understand and to find who's responsible.
And you will avenge the dead as you have avenged my wound in the past. Very well, Renoixe. I will help you. Our island wails in suffering. The Anatalis Fair may kill me, but at least I will know. You will need to act as my Voglendaig, and bring to me the necessary...
What do you require?
A potion. And listen and remember, or write in your language what I shall tell you. Do not forget, the viscera of the scavengers must be taken from a place near the battlefield, because they contain the flesh of those who fell. As for the personal object of Katazach, find his weapon, because it knew his fury and his despair.
He didn't have a weapon when I found his body. I'll search the battlefield.
Where can I find him?
In Duren's camp. She recovered him after the battle.
Very well. Not far from there is a sacred circle. You'll find me there when you have united all that I need. Then we can perform the ritual when the moon is high.
In that case, let's go together to the ritual site. The place of the attack is not far from Duren's camp.
Very well. I'll follow you.
Watch out! Grenade!
I recognize this weapon. It's Katasak's, I'm certain. It must have been broken during the battle. Let's take it back to Mev.
Were you able to find the elements I need for the ritual?
Yes. Here is what you asked me to bring.
This is good. But the moon is not yet high enough. Would you like to wait with me?
Yes. I'll keep you company.
Sit then in that case. And remain silent. I... Katasar, we have come to learn the truth of your death. Ato al confrangawi brandi, ole hanamemen adestame haman. Bara vridenan tahanemo quate grenfem, linqui damda renaute da hodos. Lemat, de tahawan kloisam, de talugedon velam, de taragam buledam, de tatamenam reloidan, adet alamen kante bedam en antelam verfragt dangom.
Katasar, help me, please.
Show no fear. I do not think he means you any harm.
What is this? This monster? Why is it attacking us?
I don't know. I don't understand. It is as if it seeks you out. It wants you.
You never should have done that, Katasach. To save one, Renaikse, you put us all in great peril. His spirit is different. He receives badly. You have woven the bond of the Deathbringer.
What is happening to you? Get a hold of yourself. Come on!
I cannot believe it. He has returned.
Who?
Finbar. The High King. We thought he was dead. He disappeared months ago.
Is he the attacker? And what of Constantine? Have you seen a young, blonde-haired man? He was sickly.
Yes. The golden haired was there. And he was afraid. Katasach protected him before he was killed by Finbar. Leave me now. I am very tired.
How are you feeling?
Better. What are you going to do now?
If I want to have any hope of finding Constantine, I must follow Vinbar. I have no choice. I will need to return to his sanctuary in the north of the island. He must be hiding there.
You know where he is?
Yes, but I wasn't able to enter. I have one seed, but I need another.
Vinbar is a very powerful Doneigad, as well as being the High King. He has access to knowledge that even I cannot attain. He has seen the true face of Enol Mil Frichtim. His secrets must be well kept. And he would only have shared them with those he loved the most.
Yes. I must find Sera. She is certainly the only one to know which seed is needed. Thank you, Mev. You have helped us greatly.
Do not thank me. I have not done this for you. In order to satisfy my curiosity, I betrayed my king. All that remains for me to do is to pray that I have done nothing that cannot be fixed.
Farewell.